Phew, it's a very sunny day today. So today I'm back in the studio. I'm going to be working on vocals for a song named Never Gonna Lose It. It's almost like my version of a pop punk song, and it's going to be an interesting one because this one has quite a high vocal melody that might get quite intense. To add on to that, I was out last night with a mate, so yes, I think definitely today is about drinking lots of water and just kind of gradually easing my way into it. A lot of vocal warm-ups. There's this really cool vocal fry technique that I've heard about. You essentially just go, and apparently it's a really powerful way of just kind of engaging your voice and your diaphragm. So we'll see if that helps out, and we'll see how the session goes.
As a guitarist, it is important to have a practice routine. One that's specific, with individual exercises and parts that you run through in order to improve your accuracy and proficiency on the instrument. However, many of us tend not to do that. Instead, we just kind of grab the guitar, turn it on, and kind of noodle about with different notes. However, one day, when I was just kind of messing around, noodling about on the guitar, I came up with something quite cool. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like the intro to a song. Immediately, I had an idea in my head, a sound. But to get that sound, I had to retune my guitar. Without getting too technical, the top string on your guitar is usually tuned to an E note. However, to get the desired effect, I had to tune it down what we call a whole step to a D. This allows me to do this, give that big fat D chord, and so we end up with this. A riff was born, and then out of that, a full song.
Recently, I've been in the recording studio working on a new song named Never Gonna Lose It. It's been successful, however, while recording vocals, we found that the choruses weren't quite up to scratch. Sometimes that'll happen, and what I like to do is I will grab a musical instrument, usually my acoustic guitar, and I'll kind of work out the melody that I want to sing on that instrument. That way you can then pitch your voice to those notes, and once you've got that internalised, you can then return to the microphone and sing with much greater accuracy than you had before.
Never gonna lose my desire.
Yeah, that's a good one, I think.
Brilliant. The recording process was actually quite straightforward. Indeed, one thing that's unique about this song is that the song you're hearing was actually the first master that I got back from Joe. You see, there are multiple stages to recording. It's not just plugging in the instruments and getting the sounds physically recorded. There's also the whole production side of it, involving mixing the different instruments and getting them all to the right levels. Finally, you get the master, and I suppose it's that which really gives the song its loudness and its sort of sheen, if you like, to make it sound like a finished record. Being in the studio and listening at home, there can be different experiences. You know, the very expensive high-end monitors and recording gear that Joe has in his studio is very, very different to my laptop and my relatively cheap headphones. And indeed, listening at home, I might pick up on things that I might not have picked up on in the studio. And so I would send notes back saying, hey, actually, could this be adjusted? Could this be tweaked? And then, of course, he could send another master, and generally the second or third master, you'd have it pretty much there. One thing I will say, and I did it with Chambers of a Broken Heart as well, although that was a much more involved mixing and mastering process. I actually did spend some time listening to the song with headphones in the studio, which indeed gave me a much closer experience to what I would then have at home, and I think indeed ultimately made that side of the process a lot easier and meant that that first master sounded great straight off the bat. Guys, thank you for watching, and indeed for watching through to the end. Next month I'll be back with another new song, this one being called I Should Know Better, and on the same date, the 24th of November, all 5 songs I've been releasing recently are going to be compiled into an EP named Silent Sighs in the Dark. It's now been put through the distributor, it's now official, and so both of these things will, and indeed should, happen on that date. And I'm really excited to be sharing that with you. If you're interested and you want to stick around for more, please consider subscribing. I'd love to see you in another video. And indeed, until then, take care.